the same. Like everyone looked the same. And their cultures were all the same and nobody practiced anything that they originally knew. And in the end, Cedar tries to expose the zoo, but the people in the line seem unfazed by it and they just think it's okay. And someone tells him that the people in the zoo actually get paid to stay in the exhibits. So he feels embarrassed that he thought he was going to change anything, and he apologizes to his friend for insulting his dad. But then his friend tells him that the people in the zoo do not get paid. So his dad is just exploiting people and showing them to the public. So the cautionary tale here is, first of all, greed, because Quinn's dad was doing something really bad, and just to get money. And another cautionary tale was not to lose touch with your culture. And this relates to today because a lot of people give into trends and want to be the same as people on TV or in magazines. But if everyone becomes like that, they're just going to forget who they are or where they come from. Oh, and I think the link was still. Oh wait, this is the whole thing. I have it on my desktop.
Okay.
Just the clip.
Okay.
10 seconds. Do I have to change my screen sharing to show it?
I think so. That's what I did.
Yeah, just get out and get back in.
Okay.
Very good watch. Very good outcome. Definitely a
Did you guys hear it?
Not really. I don't know if it's like delayed or what, but we'll just use our imagination because we all have access to the review. So at least you can try and play it. So this is the funny part about Laakea's review. It was really cool. Like he showed up with glasses and then another pair of glasses. And then at the end he had like more glasses on. It was hilarious. I was like, wow, that was pretty creative. Where did you get that Cheetos band or whatever that is? Cheez-Its. What is that?
I think I got them for my birthday.
Oh,
It's a beanie.
it's one of my most favorite snacks of all time. Straight dripping. Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you, Trinity. Excellent story, by the way. If you have time to read her story, it's incredible. Her story is nightmarish, to say the least. Yeah. Yeah. Apole said that she had a nightmare, something like that. Spooky. All right. Who's next?
Me.
Me.
Person, okay.
Carson.
Oh, says I need to install a Zoom audio device.
Yeah, I think it's set to that you can use your audio no matter what.
Okay, so
Yeah.
my story was called. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Story was called "The Outcome of Lying" by me. So the main character in my story, his name is Billy, and he's kind of like, well, he's 12 years old in my story, and he's kind of like a typical mischievous 12-year-old kid who causes trouble at his school. But his oldest brother, Brandon, he's kind of like the main role model for him. He tries to set a good example for his younger brother. and his best friend Mac is his best friend. He's kind of like he was kind of brought up the right way as like a young kid, so he tries to be a good influence on him. And Martha is Billy's mom. She doesn't play a super big role in the story. She's kind of like a filler character. And then Guy Montag is kind of like later in the story, he's like the final like warning to Billy about what his actions might cause. And the cautionary tale I chose in my story was The Boy Who Cried Wolf, which is basically this boy, if you guys don't know, it's this boy who constantly he takes care of his sheep, and he keeps making up lies about there being a wolf that's trying to kill him and his sheep. And yeah, he does it over and over again to the point where no one believes him. And when it actually happens, no one believes him, and he ends up dying. So I chose it because I see it happen kind of often where people build up this reputation for themselves. That's kind of like people start doubting what they say. And it's actually kind of applies to me a little bit. So that's why I kind of chose it. Yeah, so basically the plot is that he loves causing trouble in and out of school. But it's not completely his fault because he has a lack of parenting, like lack of guidance in his life. His parents are really like almost like they don't care about him. They're only focused on his brother. So because of the lack of guidance, he basically goes down to this fish pond and he fakes that he's drowning. And the person nearby is Guy Montag, who tries to come and help him. And he basically gives him this talk about like, you shouldn't really do that because if you're actually drowning, it would be really bad. But then obviously being a 12-year-old kid, he really doesn't listen. So I kind of don't want to spoil the end, but I think you can picture what happens. And then this is just the timeline I made of the beginning with him and his brother, him and at school. And the middle is really when he goes fishing and he like fakes that he's drowning. But then, I guess I'll say it, he actually ends up drowning. And then this is his family, or his brother, when he finds out that he's not home. So yeah, that's basically my story. Oh, and hold on, I need to do the video clip. I don't know, I didn't know how to make it like a 10-second clip, so I just play it for like 10 seconds.
Billy. Now, can you imagine that troublemaker from school that
Can you guys hear
ruins
me?
everyone's day? Got a good image? Well, that's Billy. The story.
All right. It's frozen, I don't know why, but yeah.
These are the things that yeah, Eva, you look pretty. Yeah, it's actually a really cool review. If you have time, go ahead and click on that and watch that. Even real life background noise as well with the sirens. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Mahalo for that. Thank you. Let's see. I think we have time. Okay, who's next? Eva, we can have you go today.
Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So the title of my short story dystopian thing was called The Vilification of the Atypical by me. Just a little bit of setting information. The main character is known as the atypical in the story, and the side character is labeled as the perfect human. So because of their differences in their labels, the people in the city are divided into prefectures and divisions. So it kind of looks like a big circle with two smaller circles in it. So in this case, because Subin odd, he'd be more on the outside, and Tamura would be more towards the center. That's kind of what it looks like, sort of. So in the beginning, it's a flashback memory of Subin's childhood, and it's when his parents get taken away by the military police brigade, and they're kind of like the government in this situation, and they're getting taken away because they birthed an atypical child. Tamura was there to witness it because they're like childhood best friends, and from then on, Subin developed PTSD and depression, which are mental issues or disorders, and then it cuts into their present time. So in the middle, it just kind of highlights what their daily life looks like. So they go off to the Garrison Regiment, which is school, and they're separated by floors. And you kind of get to see like how badly Subin is treated and how different he's treated because of what people perceive him as, which is a liar or an atypical. And it just kind of highlights like what he goes through and how he perceives things. In the end, Tamura just reassures with Subin that it's okay to show his true self, his suffering self to Tamura. And Subin just kind of hides it because of what others already see him as and stereotype him as. So, yeah. The cautionary tale I chose was the glorification of mental illness. And I chose this because mental illness isn't necessarily a good thing. And over time, the Western culture has kind of lost the meaning behind it and changed it and developed a tendency to romanticize it to allow justification for harmful behavior. And with social media and like things trending with teens and young adults, they kind of reduced it into a socially acceptable characteristics. So a couple examples would be like depression would be seen as something, someone just being really sad. OCD would be confused with a perfectionist, and anxiety would be seen as like a really shy, timid girl. The theme I chose was that there's always like someone there for you if you go through things, and don't try to change the meaning of something that genuinely hurts someone else because you just want to feel the same or something like that. Yeah. Here's my review by Carson. It's really good. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear it, actually.
Aloha, my name is Carson, and I will be reviewing The Vilification of the Atypical by Eva. The setting of this story takes place in Prefecture 14, Division 36.
Okay, cool. There's 10 seconds. Thank you.
I mean, I was hoping you guys would pick like, a really powerful moment or part of the review. But anyway, wow, I really appreciated this story because it's so relevant to what's going on now with, with what, students are dealing with, what teachers have to be aware of and even take into consideration at times. And then for us as human beings, when to push through, when to pull back and be real with ourselves and with the people around us. And then how do we support one another through whatever it is that we're going through? I mean, I don't know, Eva, I think you picked a really powerful topic. So I don't know, it seems like people were extremely into your topic. So I'm hoping that you have a chance to read Eva's story as well. Mahalo. Okay.
Kumu, you're muted.
I'm muted again. Ugh. This has been one heck of a tutu moment. Okay, so I think Camila, can you go? Are you here? I saw you pop in. Did we lose you at one point and you came back? I don't know what happened.
My internet would not come in. But
Oh, isn't internet fun? I hope we can present next semester in person. I'm hoping something better. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. You'll be our last, internet is fun. You'll be our last one for today. And then let's see. We only have a couple for Friday, so I think we can handle that. Can? Okay, all right. Go ahead.
So my story is called The Cost of Power. And the message that I chose was money and social status being the most important thing in society and determining the kind of life you live. So right now in the world, money is like really important to like what you're allowed to do and like your social status. Like if you're higher class, you're seen as like richer, and if you're lower class, certain people like might not want to talk to you and like things like that. And it's not that bad right now, but it is getting worse than it used to be. My characters, the main character, her name is Lily MC because she's middle class, and so she has to have like an MC after her name, so everyone knows what class she is. And she has an all right life, but she doesn't really like it how it is. And then there's LC271143. She's literally just a number because she's in the lowest class, and she has a really bad life because all she does is like work all day, and she gets like 1 hour off of work every day. And then there's Linda. She's Lily's mom, auntie, and she's high class. She gets like a regular name, and she lives in a normal house, and like she's rich. And then there's Joey. He's also high class, and he's the son of a CEO, so he's also like really rich. And then there's Prometheus. He doesn't live in the city. He's an outsider, and he just knows how to build. He's like a construction, yeah. So in the beginning, Lily MC, and was upset with her father, and so she runs away to her mom's garden because she was mad, and she meets Elsie 271143 for the first time, and she was hiding in a bush because she came to the garden to be like to have some free time, and Lily MC found her there, and she was like, they started talking about their lives until one day Elsie 271143 disappeared out of nowhere. She like didn't come back to the garden, and Lily didn't know what was going on. And so in the middle, she decided to stop rebelling from her father, and she decided to travel into the city to do something. And she meets with her auntie who works with this CEO guy, and they started talking to the boss, and he wouldn't help them with anything. And so Lily meets his son named Joey, and they become friends, and they talk about how unfair everything is in the world and how they want to like move away from the city. And so this is a picture in the front. You can see it's a bit dark and gloomy. I don't know if you can see that, but that's where the factories are, the lower class. And then there's these small buildings in the middle. That's the middle class. And then the just regular city is the high class. And then in the end, after Joey's dad dies, Joey gets the company, and so he decides that he wants to use this to create a new society outside of the city where you don't have to be of a certain class to have certain jobs and go to certain schools, and you're allowed to like create your own future. You just have to work hard for it. And so they meet with Prometheus to like learn how to build, how to start off stuff like this, and eventually they make their own house and they invite more friends, and their city grows. So yeah, and then where's I have to stop sharing.
Yeah. Stop share and then go back. Yeah.
This. Oh God.
Mila's short story, Cost of Power, is a mind-twisting dystopian short story about the growing division of class and wealth.
Okay, mahalo for that. Very cool. Thank you for using Book Creator. Was it easy to use?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Very cool story. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and we are going to meet for our final class tomorrow. Okay, so let's have everybody be here on time at 11. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4 people to go tomorrow. So I think we can handle, you know who you are, correct? Kaylee, Tia, Blaze, and Kai. Yeah. You have a question, Blaze? No? Okay, you just raising your hand. All right. Before we leave today, I just want to give you a heads up. There's no assignment, nothing over break. Okay. I just want to make sure. Or are you saying mahalo, Apole, Kiula? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. The only thing, again, that I ask you guys to do is to really help out before you get the stink eye, or, you know, help out before you have to be told or asked to help. And then also, I want you guys to make sure you guys get out there, exercise, eat healthy, spend some quality time with your family. If you can go to the beach to wash off this first semester, go ahead and do that too. Okay, or whatever you guys got to do to come back refreshed. In the meantime, I just want you guys to think about a couple of things, several things. First, the topic of social injustice. Okay, we're going to continue with that topic of social injustice. We are also going to be diving into the Harlem Renaissance. So we're kind of like working in tandem with your history teachers. Okay, so you guys are going to be looking over that part of history. If you guys can watch any of those movies, okay, any movies that deal with the Harlem Renaissance, go ahead and do that. Any poems, okay, like Langston Hughes, my favorite. Think about what it's like to be able to sit at the table, right? To have a seat at the table in making decisions and things like that, okay? And then also, if you have family members or kupuna that helped out or has, you know, have mana'o about the Hawaiian Renaissance of the late 1960s, 70s, please talk story with them, because we're going to do a side-by-side comparison with the idea of Renaissance. Okay, so look that up, check it out, watch some videos, things like that. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same bat channel, same bat time, and then we'll say goodbye until second semester. Okay, good job, you guys. See ya.